I'm going to be showing you how to cut tracks from scratch. Um, Download it fresh from multitracks.com, and how to set it up in session view, uh, which is the way we run tracks at our church. And the first thing we're going to do is open up the file. I have Lion and the Lamb here. This is the folder from MultiTracks, fresh out of MultiTracks. And so we're going to open up this ALS file, which is an Ableton Live file, and just click it, and it'll automatically open for you there. And just wait for it to load. And I'm going to fly through these steps, but if you have any questions, obviously you can send them my way, or talk about them. We could talk about them in person. So the first thing we're going to do here is go ahead and turn all these off. We don't need these buttons here on, and the track is here. All the instruments, we're going to open these up. I like to open them up to see that they've been loaded here and make sure everything's there. I'm going to go ahead and play through the track. And when you press play, for some reason it starts at the end here. MultiTrack sends it with this marker here on top. We don't need that. You can delete that. Most tracks come with that. I'm not sure why, but we want to play it from 0. So we're going to stop here and play it from 0.
2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
And this is the original track of the original artist, which is Bethel. So it has a long intro here.
Intro.
Yeah, and so we're just gonna hear it out. The track. It's the verse.
Chorus.
Come into the chorus. Make sure it's the track you wanted. And just hear out the instruments. You got the drums that are playing the ride. Some claps. The acoustic. Guitar making some ambience noise. Go to the interlude. Guitars and keys. Piano. Yeah, and I like to hear out the track, see what it has, so I can know what we're gonna need for live. I know for sure we probably won't need this acoustic or one of these electrics, for sure not the bass. I would like to keep this in there for a live set. We usually have drums, bass, acoustic guitars, piano, and keys. But even these pianos are a little bit these might be hard to play live, so we'll keep those. And even those. And I'll probably have my keys player do regular chords or synths and pads. But I like to hear it out just to see what the tracks come with. Most of them come with background vocals. These don't have background vocals, which is fine. Some of them come with background vocal effects even, but that's okay. We don't need these returns here. We're going to delete these tracks. Just click on them and delete them. And we're going to start cutting them up. Before we start the cutting process, for sure, we're not going to mess with the arrangement yet. I know that this is not how we'll play the song because it has a super long intro. I think it has a vamp part here it's soloed out on the keys. It has a vamp part here that probably not going to do. I'm going to jump from the chorus, from the bridge right into the chorus. So there's stuff that we'll cut, but we won't do that yet. I want to keep this. I want to keep the session view on this. This is the session view. If you press tab, it goes to session. I want to keep the original one here, and plus we'll still have our version, but the session view will stay here. We're not going to mess with the arrangement. We are going to mess with the count off though. This count off marker here. This is such a long intro.
2.
We won't do that.
1, 2, 3, 4.
We only need one measure, so we only need it from here and on, right? So what I'm going to do is move the count off to start where I want it. And I want to start here.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Right? And so we're going to get rid of this. And I just clicked and dragged it to highlight all of them. All the way down to the master highlights everything. And we're going to go to edit and not cut or delete. If we cut or delete, it helps, but the time stays here. So if I press 0, it'll still play it, but I mean, it'll still play from that time, but I don't want to play from that time. Undo this, and I want to cut the time also. So Ableton has enabled here a way to cut the time. So if you press that, it shifts everything all the way to the left. And if you do that forward also, let's say you do it this way, it'll shift all of this to the left as well. It's cut time or command shift X, and it'll shift everything this way. Now, we're not going to do that, but I just wanted to show you that we could do that. It also pastes times. So the way it pastes, you do regular paste, it can also paste. So I'm going to copy this, or Command C, and I'm going to paste the tracks here. You could paste them over what's already there, or paste time, which will shift everything to the right. Did you see that? Now we don't need to do that right now. Undo that, but I just wanted to show you that cut time is what we want to use in this particular situation. So we start cutting these up, and this is also if gonna create the clips. Cutting the clips will also cutting the tracks will also create the clips that are gonna go in here. So basically, we're gonna see this, all this, instead of seeing it from left to right, we're gonna see it from top to bottom. That's the goal. The reason behind that is we want to make it easy for our tracks operators to just find the bridge or the verse or any part of the song from top to bottom. It's so much smaller, so much simpler. This is looks a lot more complicated. If we wanted to go into the outro, we would have to literally scroll all the way down here, find this little speaker, play it from here. We don't want to do that. We don't want to do that to our team, so we're going to make it nice and simple here. So we're going to start cutting them up, okay, into these clips. The way you do that is you select the first track here, and Command All highlights all the tracks. Command A on the keypad highlights all the tracks. No matter which one you press, it'll highlight all of them. We want to do that because we want to, as soon as we click on this marker for intro, it highlights the beginning of all of these intros for all of these tracks. Once we have that red line highlighted or blinking across, we press Command E to cut. To split. You can go down here and edit, and we're going to split it up, or Command E. It won't cut anything off, but it will split the track. Right now, this is one full track. See? But if you highlight them all and press the click on the marker and press Command E, now these have become two different. They split it into two tracks in one. And we're going to do that for every single one of these, because this specific countdown, this specific intro, all of them individually will go in here. This way though, so from left to right. I'm sorry, from top to bottom. What is playing left to right will be from top to bottom. So we're going to do that. Command A, press on the marker, Command E, next marker, Command E, next marker, Command E, and that's what you're going to do. And it's splitting the tracks. So it helps to get familiar also while I'm doing this. I want to share that it helps to get familiar with the arrangement of the song up here, because this arrangement up here is how it's going to go down from top to bottom here. So it's good. Like I'm already learning that it has 4 intros in total. It has a verse, chorus, interlude, normal, song, interlude, another verse, another chorus, another interlude. It has 2 bridges. So I'm just saying it helps to get familiar with knowing the song. After the bridges, there's a vamp, a chorus, and an outro, and then it has an ending. So what we're going to do after all of them are split up or cut up, we're going to highlight them again, right? And before we move them to the session view, this over here, we're going to warp them. The reason you want to warp them is because when we transpose to a higher key, if they're not warped, the tempo will change. So if you go higher, the tempo will change faster. If you go lower at a key, the tempo will change to be slower. And we don't want that. So we warp them before we change. We click, and I'm clicking and dragging here, okay? And then I'm gonna press tab on my key while I'm still clicking and dragging. Press tab on my keypad, and start dragging to the top here. Make sure they align with their channel, and release. And so now we have this. We have it going this way instead of that way. And we want that. We want that because, again, it makes it simple for our team to see here what we're playing. For arrangements, if we want to change them later, this will make it easier for our team to do it as well. And now the next thing is to name these. And like I said, I'm familiar now with this song. I've heard it before, and I've seen the arrangement now. So I probably know the
1, 2, 3, 4.
In the count off, we're gonna go ahead and add the title in caps. And the lamp, and then add the key it's in. We'll add the tempo, which is 90 BPM, lowercase BPM, and then 4/8. The reason for the 4/8, even though it's a 4/4, is that we don't use the click track that comes with the track. Sometimes it comes in 4, sometimes it comes in 4/8. Like this one, I think is 4/8.
1, 2, 3.
Or it has
4.
an accent on the 4/4.
1, 2, 3, 4.
And then it has a little extra. It's divided there. So, but we don't like to use this because it comes in different volumes and different sounds, and so it's sometimes hard to keep track of that. So we always use the Ableton live track, Ableton live click, and if we leave it at 4/4, it will only play the 4 beats as a click. If we put it as a 4/8,
1, 2, 3.
Here, let me turn off the original click track.
1, 2, 3, 4.
So we like that. That's the reason. But it will help if you copy this, like copy it, Command C, because every time you rename this, you're gonna add that to your scene. These are scenes, by the way, and these are clips. These are scenes. And so I know it starts with an intro, right? Obviously, and we go ahead and key in intro, and Command V to paste this again. It needs to have it in every single scene here. I know it has 4 intros because we saw that earlier. Command V to paste. One more intro, and I believe it goes with verse 1. We abbreviate V1 for verse 1, and I believe it goes into the chorus, and it said interlude. We abbreviate chorus 1, CH1. Interlude is inter. Instrumental is INST, inst. But it has an interlude here. So we're gonna. The next one's verse 2. I'm pretty sure. You can either do this every time you want to rename something, or if it's right next to each other, like right next to the one you want to edit, you could just press tab and it'll edit all of them. So, or go to the next one. I know it's chorus 3. I'm sorry, chorus 2. And I think there's another interlude. I'll double check right now. And I believe it goes into the bridge. For bridge, we put B1, bridge 1, B2, bridge 2. And I think there's a vamp. And I think there's another chorus. This will be the third chorus. And there's an outro. And ending. Again, I know that because I got familiar while we were playing the song, playing around with it and hearing it out. And it did match. It does match, I believe. It's chorus, verse 2, chorus, interlude, bridge, vamp, bridge, vamp, chorus, outro, ending, chorus, outro, ending. Yeah. And I'm gonna. We want to do this because check it out. When we play the count off.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Notice how the next one didn't start. And the reason is because we automatically, it doesn't automatically launch into the next scene. We key in those commands or those launches. And the way to do that is plugging in or keying in the measures. Okay, the measures for each scene. This is one measure. I think this is 2 measures. 2, 3, 4, 2,
Intro.
2, 3, 4. It'll stop, but it should be 2 measures to start the next one. I think this intro is also 2 measures. These two are the same, and these 2 are the same, I believe. These are probably 4 measures. 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4. Right. Check it out. This one's 4 measures too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3. I'm sorry. 4, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I got confused there, but it's 4 measures for these, 2 measures for these. So we got to key in those measures, and the way you do that is you select or click the first clip of that scene, and see how the way you can tell you're highlighting that. I mean, you're clicking that scene is because it will highlight on the right. So click the first clip. Go ahead and select all of the clips in that scene. They turn a little darker, so you can shift and click all of them. And you're gonna go over here to this little L circle. And that opens a launch trigger here. The launch, you want this to be a trigger. Legato's fine, global's fine. It should, by default, these should be fine. This is what we're gonna mess with, the follow action. It's gonna tell these clips or this scene to go to the next one after it's done, but you have to key in the amount of measures. So we said the first scene is 1 measure because it's a count. 1, 2, 3, 4, intro. Right? So we're going to leave the 1. By default, all of them are at 1, but they don't have a follow action. That's why it just stops. Not stops, but it doesn't do anything. So we wanted to play the next scene or the next clips right under that. It's important that you highlight all of them. If you only highlight one, it will only go to the next scene for that track, not for all of them. Okay, so now it should go into that first
1, 2,
intro.
3, 4.
Notice how when I press play here on this scene,
1, 2, 3, 4.
These are, you can see like a blinking, them all blinking because they're getting ready to start.
1, 2, 3, 4.
When I press play on this one, these are not blinking. It means
Intro.
I haven't set up a follow action for those. And I think these are 2 measures. To double check, you can go down, you can click one of these, whichever clip on this scene, and go down here. There's a little magnifying glass looking thing. And as long as you can see it, you could click it and then drag down so you can zoom in. And you could see how long that each clip is. This is the first one. The only thing is you have to do it for each of the clips. But that one's 1 measure. You can see that. This is divided into more measures, but you only need to see this. These are from the marker to marker is 1 measure. This highlighted part of all this stem is this clip that I'm clicking here. See that? So I know that's 1 measure. I know this was 1 measure here. So I know this is 2 measures because it's 1, 2, or 1, 2, right? So we're gonna key in 2 for this intro. 2. Go to next. Make sure you put next. If you put 2 and no next, it won't do anything. So check it out. 3, 4, 2.
Intro.
2. Go into the next one. There you go.
Intro.
We'll stop there, but I think this is the same. Like I said in the beginning, get familiar with the track. You can also kind of just tell how many measures each part of the song is. If you're familiar, the more familiar you are with it, the easier this will be. These are 4 measures. But again, just to make sure, I'm gonna click this scene here and go to the magnifying glass, and yeah, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 measures total. I'm gonna make these 4, and I think the next one is also 4. Yeah, it stops at 5. The little marker stops at 5, so it should be 4. So these 2, I'm gonna save time and make those 4 measures at the same time. If you highlight both scenes or all of the clips in these 2 scenes, it would do both of them at the same time. So let's just double check.
1, 2, 3, 4. Intro. Intro.
Right? It's working so far, so I'm gonna get ahead and look at the verse.
Intro.
How many is the verse? 8. I'm gonna do 8 on the verse.
Verse.
The chorus looks like it's 14. I'm gonna do 14 on the chorus.
Chorus.
Here comes the chorus. Sounds good. Interlude. 4 measures. Let's key that in. Verse. Remember how many the verse were? It was 8. So I've highlighted them. 8 measures. Okay, the next one. Chorus. First one was 14. Second one should be the same. Let's double check.
Interlude.
14. Next. Interludes vary, so just double check interludes. Bridges. Bridges are usually the same. That's bridge 1. Bridge 2. 8 measures for the bridge.
chorus,
And I'm editing this and hearing it as it goes, so making sure it sounds good. The vamp looks like it's 2 measures. 2, next. Chorus 3 should be the same. Double check. 14.
interlude,
Outro. It's 4. And everything's sounding pretty good.
bridge,
So I'm saving time like hearing it out. Oh, there's a mistake there. So notice how it went into the interlude, but it didn't go into the bridge. So we're gonna check what I did wrong there. The interlude didn't go into the bridge, so look, I added the 4, but it didn't go, I didn't click in next. That's the problem. But let's hear it out. Or let's fix it first. And interlude 4 next. Well, let's play the chorus before the interlude. So you gotta double check, triple check your work. We don't want that happening at the rehearsal.
interlude, bridge,
Here we go. That worked. And so the intro was 4. There you go, set up. So we're just gonna let it finish off just to double check our work here.
repeat bridge, vamp, chorus, outro, ending,
So all of them sounded good. At the end, at the last scene here, at the ending, you want to also add a follow action, but it's not going to be next because then it'll start from the top. It's going to be stop, and it's usually 4 measures of swelling or built up that we do at songs between the ending and the intro of the next one. It's usually about 4 measures, and I think this one fades out pretty good. I can see it here fading out. It goes a little bit after. You can see this. I think these are the keys, and we'll fix that right now. So the way we do this is you go ahead, put 4, and then stop. And we're gonna play it out, and we're gonna go to every individual track. And if it needs editing, if the drums don't need editing, there's no waveform there after 4. Actually, I don't even think any of them need it. Not percussion. See the bass. No. Maybe the guitars. Let me see the guitars. If it goes beyond this 5 here, then we got to do some editing. Now let's try. Let's see. Yeah, so I'm just clicking on the clips, and that's what we're looking at down here. Oh, sorry, I clicked on it, but I didn't. I need to solo it. Let me turn off the click. No, doesn't seem like you need. Oops. Should be good. See this one? Oh, yeah, that one does go into 5 a little bit. So you probably won't be able to tell live. See how this is really gonna. I mean, you wouldn't even be able to tell live, but just to show you, just for the sake of showing you how to do this, the way you do it is you press the envelope here, the E, and you want to mess with the volume of the clip, not the volume here, right? We don't want to mess with the volume of the track. We want to mess with the volume of the clip, the individual clip. So what we're going to do is right after 5, or right after 4 here, we're going to add, we're going to click on this line. This line appears when you turn on the envelope. Make sure you turn it on. By the way, this will only turn on if you have it warped also, so that's why that's important. So turn this on. We want it to fade out at 4. And by 5 it needs to be completely off. So the way you do that is this line appears here when you turn on the envelope. See that? This line appears. And so just click on that line. You need to make sure you click on the line so it can create that little bubble. And then create another bubble over here by 5. And we're going to click and drag that bubble down. So there's tracks where they crash out for a long time, the drums crash out for a long time, the bass is playing for a long time. So at 4 is usually the mark where we want to end it. And this is how you would do that for each individual clip. We check them all. Seems like only keys 1 needs that. So now for sure you won't hear anything in the end after 4 measures. Check it out how this will fade down. Right on time. There you go. After this, your tracks are ready to go. They're ready to be set up for a worship live set. We're gonna save this as its own project under the folder. Remember we downloaded this folder. Well, we're gonna save it under this folder, but as in a different name, and so it could appear all together here with the tracks and everything. We're gonna go to File, Collect All and Save. Yes, it's gonna ask you to save as. It's gonna save as a new file, and what we're gonna add here is Lion and the Lamb. I'm gonna add its the way it's written out from MultiTracks. The same way, we're gonna add it the same way. Have it all. That's the album name. I'm gonna write in 90.00 BPM. Oh, sorry, I missed the key. The key is B. And we're gonna leave it exactly like like that, like the way it's named in the folder. Why? Because that will tell us let me go down here. This will tell us, it should be there now. This should tell us that the one that has the tile, just like it, is the original. Okay, and I'll show you how we would save it in another video. I'll show you how. Obviously, we're not. I mentioned we're not going to do all of these intros. Probably not going to do the VAP, and I'll show you this in another video. But we'll save that under another name that will help us identify them quickly, which file we're supposed to be doing, or which file we're supposed to be selecting. But that is it. That's it. This is saved under its own name now, and we should be good.
1, 2, 3, 4.